The information provided on this podcast is intended for general informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. While we discuss topics related to vegan health, diet, and fitness, always consult with a qualified healthcare provider or registered dietitian before making any changes to your diet, fitness routine, or lifestyle, especially if you have existing health conditions.
Welcome to Good Vegan Meal, the podcast for lifelong vegans, people wanting to become vegan, or those interested in vegan living. We're here to make your lives better by giving you the information you need to succeed in your compassionate vegan lifestyle.
Okay, the holidays. We all picture them, tinsel, family, lots of food, that feeling of connection.
Yeah, the ideal, right?
Exactly. But if you're vegan or plant-based, those joyful gatherings, they often come with this extra layer of stress.
Oh, definitely. That anxiety about navigating your own values against, decades of family tradition.
Totally. You love your family, obviously, but you're also dreading maybe feeling a bit isolated or, being labeled the difficult vegan.
That feeling is so common. And that's really why we wanted to tackle this today. We've pulled together a ton of material.
All sorts of places, right?
Yeah, everything from activist group guides and community chats online to advice from dietitians and even fitness experts. We wanted to build a sort of comprehensive survival guide. It's not just about the food, the logistics, it's also the social side, the emotional navigation.
Right, because the goal isn't just to get through the holidays, it's to actually enjoy them, thrive even. So if you're already feeling that knot in your stomach about the big family meal, this deep dive is really for you. We want to help you figure out how to stick to your choices, but also have a genuinely good time without fights, without compromising, and without going hungry.
Precisely. That's the core challenge we found in the sources, finding that, fine line. You want to be authentic, but you also want that warmth, that connection.
Loyalty, yeah.
So we need tools for the plate, but also for the conversation and just managing that anxiety underneath it all.
Okay, let's unpack it then.
Yeah.
Starting with the most practical bit, the logistics. Getting that delicious stress-free meal sorted. Because honestly, planning here isn't just a nice to have.
No, it's absolutely critical. It's like insurance.
Right.
And the number one rule, this came up in absolutely every source, didn't matter how different their approach was otherwise.
What is it?
Never assume you'll be catered for. Ever. Just don't. If you go in with the mindset that you need to sort yourself out, you basically head off, I'd say, 90% of the potential frustration or, ending up hungry.
That makes sense. It sets the right expectation from the get-go. So, okay, how do you actually do that without making your host feel like you're grilling them?
Well, the first step is proactive communication. Talk to the host early.
But isn't that awkward?
The sources really insist it's not rude. It's actually respectful. They often compare it to, telling someone you have a serious food allergy.
Okay, yeah, that framing helps.
Ask what they're planning, sure, but then immediately offer to help. Can I help plan? Or happy to label dishes if that makes it easier.
Or offering simple swaps, I saw that mentioned. Not asking them to cook a whole separate meal, but making it easier for them.
Exactly. Offer to bring, say, a specific vegan butter or some non-dairy milk, maybe vegetable stock, things they can easily use to veganize a side dish, like mashed potatoes, without it tasting wildly different to everyone else.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Which substitutes work best for that? For something classic like mashed potatoes, what should you bring?
Good question. Many sources highlight bringing high-quality stuff. Things like a really good plant-based butter, or maybe cashew cream instead of dairy cream. These let the host make simple switches.
Lowers the barrier for them.
Totally. And it helps make sure your food actually tastes amazing, which is key.
Okay, that leads perfectly into the next point. Bringing your own dish. The advice isn't just bring something, it's bring something epic. Why so much focus on it being, really indulgent?
This is where the psychology comes in. It's strategic.
How so?
If you bring something undeniably delicious, really savory, maybe a fantastic vegan spinach artichoke dip, or a showstopper like a vegan Wellington, or even just a killer dessert.
Like a maple spiced apple crisp, maybe?
Perfect example. You kind of sidestep the whole debate. Your family tries it. They love it. They're raving about the taste.
Before they even think about the vegan part.
Exactly. It challenges their assumptions without a word being said. It's like delicious activism, silent advocacy.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're bringing something that good, there's a warning that comes with it, right?
Oh, absolutely crucial warning. Bring extra. Way more than you think you need.
Because?
Because the non-vegans will eat your food. They just will. They'll be curious. They'll ask for a taste. Maybe they finish their plate and yours looks better.
And suddenly your main course is gone.
Pretty much. If you bring a vegan lasagna planning for it to be your meal, bring enough for 6 people, seriously, even if it's just you. Otherwise, yeah, you might end up with a tiny bit of dip and, well, water.
Okay, noted. Bring double.
Yeah.
Now, for those who really want maximum control, there's always hosting, right? Is that seen as the best option?
It's the ultimate control, for sure, but it comes with trade-offs.
Like the workload.
Yeah, hosting guarantees a 100% vegan meal, no cross-contamination worries, no ethical dilemmas at the table. It's great for that.
We can do a potluck, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
to share the load.
Definitely. Sources suggest that host a vegan potluck, maybe even give people specific recipes to try. But, and this is important, if you're newly vegan, hosting can add a massive amount of stress to an already stressful time.
Right.
So you have to weigh it up. Total control versus potential burnout.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about travel? Getting to the gathering, being in unfamiliar places. Any specific logistical tips there?
Yes, need gets tactical here. Flying, big one. Book your airline meal way, way ahead. Don't just hope they'll have something vegan on the day.
Assume they won't, basically. Back to rule number 1.
Exactly. And if you're driving or staying somewhere new, use your map apps, but get specific.
How so? Not just searching for grocery store.
Right. Search for actual ingredients you might need, like tofu or nutritional yeast.
Yep.
Or maybe search for an ethnic market. They often have a wider range of plant-based staples.
Good tip. And what about cooking in someone else's kitchen? Cross-contamination can be a real worry.
It is. And navigating that politely is key. The
Yeah.
sources suggest gentle negotiation.
Like asking to use foil.
Yeah, maybe ask if you can put down some fresh foil on their baking sheet. Or ask if you can take your portion of a side dish before they add, say, bacon bits or cheese.
Okay.
And this is where having your own little travel kit comes in handy. Those small, portable plant milks, maybe some sauces you like, they're lifesavers. A little comfort fallback.
Okay, so that covers a lot of the practical food stuff. But honestly, once the food is sorted, that's often when the real challenge begins.
Mm-hmm. The family dynamics.
Yeah, dealing with the moral side of it, the conversations, the anxiety, that's often way harder than figuring out the mashed potatoes.
It really is. That anxiety, it often comes less from will I have enough food and more from the social pressure,
Yeah.
right? And maybe that moral discomfort of seeing all the non-vegan stuff being prepared or eaten.
So we need strategies for our heads, not just our plates.
We need to build like a strong emotional game plan. Set boundaries.
Okay, but how do you set boundaries when the whole point is togetherness? Feels counterintuitive.
It's about prioritizing your own well-being so you can be present later. Self-care is key. If, for example, the actual sight and smell of meat cooking is genuinely upsetting or triggering for you.
Which it can be for many people.
Right. Then the advice is, don't force yourself to undo it.
Yeah.
It is okay to eat your main course somewhere else.
Really? Like, just take your plate and leave the table.
Yeah. Make your plate, find a quieter spot, maybe the living room couch, or go hang out with the cat for a bit, eat peacefully, and then rejoin everyone for everything else. The gifts, the board games, the movie.
That's actually quite powerful. You're not rejecting the family. You're just managing one specific difficult part of the gathering.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
trade maybe one potentially stressful hour at the table for several hours of genuine connection and fun afterwards.
Okay, let's talk about another tricky one. The well-intentioned mistake. You know, Aunt Shirley tried so hard, but she used chicken stock in the veggie soup. Or maybe added Parmesan to the salad she promised was vegan.
Ah, yes. The Aunt Shirley scenario happens all the time.
How do you handle that without causing offense, but also without, eating it?
This is super delicate. The sources, especially the activist ones, are very clear. First, thank them profusely. Acknowledge the love and effort behind the gesture.
Okay, start with gratitude.
Absolutely. But then, and this is the crucial bit, you have to gently but firmly explain why you can't eat it. No ambiguity.
But isn't it sometimes just easier to avoid making Aunt Shirley feel bad? Maybe just eat around the Parmesan. Does that really do long-term damage?
That's the ethical tightrope, isn't it? Everyone grapples with that. But the consensus in the sources is pretty strong. Compromising your beliefs Even just this once sends a really unhelpful message.
How so?
It suggests your ethical stance isn't serious, that it's flexible, maybe just a preference, not a core value. It kind of undermines all the other boundary setting you've done.
So the kindness needs to be in how you say it, not in compromising.
Exactly. Something like, oh, Aunt Shirley, that looks amazing, and it was so thoughtful of you, but I just noticed it has dairy ingredients, so I can't actually eat it. But thank you so much for thinking of me. I'll stick with the delicious potatoes I brought.
Firm, kind, clear. Okay, last difficult scenario. Actual hostility. Not just mistakes, but maybe jokes about rabbit food that go on too long, or even outright teasing or ridicule.
Yeah, that can happen. And for that, the advice is to be prepared. Have some canned responses ready.
Canned responses, like pre-rehearsed lines.
Sort of, but not long speeches or arguments. Just short, simple phrases designed to shut down that specific line of questioning or joking immediately, without escalating things.
Setting a clear boundary. Expecting respect.
Exactly, from people who supposedly care about you.
Okay, give us an example. What does a good canned response sound like, according to the sources?
Well, for those endless, where do you get your protein type questions, maybe just a warm, I'm feeling great, thanks for asking, and then immediately turn the conversation back to them. How was your trip?
Deflect and redirect.
Precisely. Or if a joke is getting old or uncomfortable, you can say very calmly and directly, you know, that joke's getting a bit tired. Let's talk about something else. Or even, I'd rather not discuss my diet while we're eating, but maybe we can chat about it later.
It's like conversational self-defense.
Yeah.
Using their energy to shift direction.
That's a great way to put it. Conversational jujitsu.
Okay, so we've covered logistics, boundaries, difficult moments. What does this all add up to? How do we move beyond just surviving and maybe use the holidays to be a positive influence without, being that vegan, the preachy one?
Right. And the consensus here is really strong across the board. Save the anger or judgment for, I don't know, online debates, if you must, with family and friends. Practice patience. Focus on being a positive example, not a lecturer.
Lead by example.
Exactly. Shift the focus. Instead of talking about what you can't eat or what's wrong with their choices, talk about the good stuff.
Like the benefits you've experienced.
Yeah. Talk about how plant-based eating has positively impacted your life. Maybe you have more energy, or you feel healthier, or you're excited about the environmental aspect. People respond much better to genuine positivity and seeing someone thrive.
And if they are genuinely curious, if they ask real questions.
And definitely educate, gently. Share what you know. But, and this is a key tactical tip for many sources, try to avoid deep vegan discussions at the dinner table itself.
Why is that?
It just tends to put everyone on edge, turns the meal into a potential debate club. If someone asks a detailed question, maybe say something like, that's a great question. I'm happy to chat more about it after dinner, maybe over coffee.
Preserve the mealtime piece.
Keep it convivial. Discuss it later, one-on-one perhaps.
I also like the advice about creating new traditions. It acknowledges that the holidays are about more than just, the turkey or the roast.
Absolutely. They're about ritual, connection, shared experiences. If the central food tradition is difficult for you now, lean into creating new ritual.
Like what?
Maybe you become the person who organizes the family board game tournament every year. Or you take charge of decorating. Or maybe you introduce a totally new fun food tradition. Like, you always bring amazing... In the grand scheme of things, arguing about whether there was butter in the stuffing, it's usually not that important compared to just being together with people you care about.
That's a really grounding thought. Okay, so let's do a quick recap for everyone listening. The big takeaways seem to be: plan ahead, always. Communicate early with your host, and bring amazing food to share enough for everyone.
Yes, set those boundaries kindly but firmly. Have those little prepared responses ready just in case. And really lean into the non-food parts of the holiday, create joy there.
Right. And what really came through from digging into all this material was that tension everyone feels.
Oh yeah, that anxiety. Am I being too pushy? Am I going to cause a scene? Or am I being too quiet, letting myself down, not sticking to my values?
Finding that balance.
Finding that fine line, standing your ground, being authentic, but doing it in a way that's positive and, well, still you.
So if you're heading into a family gathering soon, maybe feeling a bit anxious, remember the goal isn't just survival. It's about being true to yourself while maximizing those three things that we talked about. Confidence in what you're doing, calm in how you respond, and that feeling of connection, of conviviality with your people. So here's a final thought to take away. What's one specific thing you could do today, right now before things get hectic, to boost one of those powers? Maybe it's finding that killer vegan recipe to bring. Maybe it's just mentally rehearsing one kind of boundary-setting phrase. What step can you take?
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of Good Vegan Meal. If you loved what you heard and you're hungry for more, head over to our link tree at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal. There you can grab our free PDF 30 high-protein vegan 5-minute meals packed with quick recipes and full nutritional stats for every meal. Perfect for busy days and plant-powered gains. And if you're ready to take your vegan cooking game to the next level, check out our cookbook's 125-minute vegan meals for kids' lunches, a school lunchbox lifesaver, 185-minute vegan meals, and 7 weeks of high-protein meals with meal planning made simple with grocery lists for each week. Grab your goodies at linktr.ee/goodveganmeal, and we'll see you in the next episode.